Hello, Internet, and welcome once again the free-to-play cast, brought to you by MMOBomb.com, your home for all things free-to-play related. This is episode 61. I am your host, Magicman. I've got a few friends with me. We've got news, we've got bombs, we've got your feedback. I don't think I should say we've got bombs. That probably doesn't come out right. We've got weekly bombs. How about that? We've got weekly bombs, we've got the viewer feedback, but first, let's get to the hosts. Back from a little bit of a hiatus here. Some real-life work got in the way of the last time you were scheduled. It's my man, Celsius. How are you?
What up?
It's been a while for you.
Yeah, the old real-life job has been cracking the whip, and I basically live there now. I've asked the building engineers to please make clear out a storage space for me, possibly put in a cot and a TV. That's how much I'm there.
Nice. I know it's affected your gaming.
Yeah, I know. I
and
finally have a
Terra
nice
characters. You need to jump in with us.
I'd like to. Like I said, I finally got a high-end PC to play all my games in full high-end, and it just sits and collects dust. It's depressing. I come in and look at it.
When you're ready, I already told you I'll buy it off you.
I know.
Next host is Brim.
Hey. I don't know about you guys. I don't know about Celsius, but I've got bombs. I've got big bombs.
Got any balls down there?
About the biggest pair you ever seen, Dingleberry.
Just bombs. Just bombs.
And if you don't know that was from Clerks, there's something wrong with you.
Right.
How you doing, Brim?
Fantastic.
Do you have derps this week?
What's that?
Do you have derps this week?
No. Actually, I don't.
Slacker.
Well, show's
I might
over.
have to go in the archives here.
Yeah, pull up the archive, see if you can find a derp while we're rolling through this stuff.
I will.
Let's slide over and get started with the news. All right, first game today we're going to talk about is Runescape by the team over at Jagex. Now, the three of us, we've already admitted on previous shows when we've talked about RuneScape that we're not really huge RuneScape guys. We have some general thoughts about the game and whether it's for us or not, but obviously not enough to do a comprehensive RuneScape review or anything. But I did want to bring this up to you guys. Are you both aware that Jagex has the community poll system in RuneScape?
I am.
Brim?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew about that.
So they like throw the devs or the community managers or whoever, they can throw things out there. And there's a couple different types of polls, but one of them is like a guaranteed poll where whatever the final decision of the gaming community for RuneScape is, that item will be implemented in the game. So that's one aspect of a couple of these different polls. So the chat there got a little weird this past week, and some people on the forums were talking about, the community managers were trying to get information on when was the heyday for RuneScape in your book as a RuneScape player. When was your favorite time to play? And the most common answer came back 2006, 2007. So what the team at Jagex did was they went back and tried to see, do we have a backup copy of RuneScape as it was in 2006, 2007. And they did find one from 2007 that they could actually restore and make up and running. Now, what's weird about that, first off, is that after this backup, Jagex changed the way it did backup, so every backup since then would not have this capability. It could not be generating its own server instance again. But this one in 2007, they could. So what they're putting forward to the community. The poll went up on February 15th, and registered people over there have 2 weeks to vote. And I want to get your take on this as a concept for not only RuneScape, but maybe for other games as well. The poll is taking people, you can vote if you would like to see the 2007 backup file restored as an optional server to play on. Now, to be clear, there are people that did not like the Combat Evolved patch, and there's people that like it. And every other change in RuneScape since then, there's always that that middle line that people either love it or hate it, and that's fine. It happens with every game. To be clear, that's not going away. The RuneScape game as it exists right now is not going away. This server would be in addition to the way the current servers run now. And depending on the number of votes received, access to this server could be an additional fee per month. It could be free per month. There's a bunch of different tiers for what they intend to do with this off server based on how many votes they get. So what do you guys think of this kind of in just the general concept? Is it being done because of the mixed feedback with the Combat Evolved patch? Are they trying to just pick up players that left years ago? Is it even a good idea to give this type of option? You know, here's our game now, but if you think our game now sucks, you can play it the way it was 5 years ago. I'm a little confused on this and what people are going to think about it. Why don't we start with you, Celsius?
I like it. RuneScape's been around long enough to the point where I think it has that following where I don't mind a rollback. And if you're going to capture some of the people that have walked away because they were upset at some of the changes that you made, then I have no problem with that. If it's an extra couple bucks for the server, then I understand. Maybe as a purchase point. I don't know about a sub. But I like the idea, giving two different versions of the game. That way you got almost like the vanilla version and the new version. I have no complaints.
Really? You're totally okay with this?
Yeah.
And I apologize if you're watching this on YouTube. I didn't have any really great footage of RuneScape that I could use for this, so you're seeing video for our next news story. I apologize for that, but so you're okay with this. What about you, Brim?
I think, yeah, I would love to see this implemented. I can think of a number of games where I would love to go back.
Well, don't spoil that, because that's the next question.
Okay. Yeah, I think I see no issues with it. I would really like to see it implemented. I've actually had this not with this. No, I'll save it for the next topic then. There's nothing I can say that won't ruin the next topic.
All right. Well, then I'll just give my 2 cents here. Initially, I kind of loved it. I was like, that's really cool. Okay, if enough people vote for it, it'll be free. If enough people don't vote for it, but enough do for implementation, they're thinking of charging, like $15 or $5 per month or whatever, depending on the certain levels of votes. And so I think if you're a RuneScape player and you really liked it back then great. Yeah, maybe you want to pay an extra $5 a month, or maybe enough people vote and it's free, and you can go back to playing on the old school rules. And they've even offered that if they reach certain levels of voting, that not only will they have this standalone, but they could actually maybe dedicate a team to this and updating and adding content to this old server. Not the stuff that they have on the new server, maybe continuing in a different direction on the old one. Which I think is another interesting thing. Then you have almost 2 different games at a certain point, don't you?
Yes.
I mean, it gets far enough down the road. There's more content on the 2007 server that never came to the current servers. So do you want to play RuneScape old or RuneScape new? So initially I was like, yeah, that's a great idea. If you're a RuneScape fan and you liked it better back then, this is probably good news for you. If you're not for it, you're a RuneScape fan and you're not for it, then you just don't need to vote. It's not a yes-no type thing. They're just gauging interest. So if you totally hate the idea, then just don't go look at the story and don't vote. And by not voting, you voted no. I guess that's how it would work, right?
That makes sense.
By not voting, you have voted no.
A silent vote is no.
Unless they're just like, yeah, we'll take that as a yes.
Right? I can see where this could get a little... this could get a little confusing, though, at some point, right? I mean, if the 2007 server grows to where it's its own game, totally different from the RuneScape that you know today... Well, then you almost need to have 2 sites advertising 2 different types of RuneScape games.
Wouldn't you have, like, RuneScape 2 at that point?
Right. You're by proxy, you've made the current RuneScape 2.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. I like the idea. I think it's an interesting concept. I'm more interested in execution, and if it's going to pull that type of audience, I would very much be interested in how many people that used to play RuneScape. So if you were a RuneScape player and you left because you didn't like some of the changes, would this be enough to get you to come back and maybe even shell out a couple of bucks each month if it wasn't free? That's the audience I'd really be interested in getting some feedback. So if that fits you, please leave a comment below. Let me know, hey, you loved it in 2006, 2007. You haven't played it since then for whatever reason. Does this make you want to pick it up? Because let's face it, I mean, RuneScape is dated, right?
Yeah.
There's a few games out there that do the same thing. So is this enough to get you to jump back in? I think it's an interesting experiment right now. And I'll be interested to see where it goes. So that kind of leads to the next question. Can you guys think of an MMO that you've played or play now that you would love to see restored to some previous point? What game? Was there a patch that broke it for you? When would you want it restored to? Brim, you tried to answer this earlier, so we'll go to you first.
Like you have to ask, I would resub to World of Warcraft if it went back to vanilla.
Oh, wow. All the way back.
Yes. And I know Celsius doesn't remember, but if you remember, we used to play with a guy named Jinhox.
Yep.
And he and I have had this conversation a lot. He said, he actually brought this idea to me a while ago. Obviously, he didn't do anything about it. But he said, if vanilla came back, he would play it. So, yeah.
I think there's a big audience for that one. Although I don't know how much of it is a big audience that would actually play it and how much is a big audience that just yearns for the past and the way things were.
Yeah.
I definitely know if they rolled it back to vanilla, you would play it.
Absolutely.
But then I also can think of people that talk about how great vanilla was compared to now, but they wouldn't go back and play it if it was vanilla now.
Well, I think those are the people that still actually play World of Warcraft.
I'm rolling with the pandas. Rolling with the pandas. So what about Burning Crusade then broke World of Warcraft for you that you would like to see it go back to vanilla? And maybe broke is a harsh word, but
I can't really say that Burning Crusade broke it. I honestly didn't play during Burning Crusade, so I guess I could go back, but
so you played in vanilla and then didn't come back till what, Wrath?
Yeah.
See, now if I was going to go with WoW, I would roll it back to Wrath. And that's only... I do agree that vanilla was probably a better game experience. The way I like to play an MMO was a better and a more challenging game experience. But I like the raiding in Wrath. I really, really liked Icecrown Citadel. So yeah, that's where I would want it to go. But you want to go all the way back to the beginning. Make that 60 cap again, and let's seal up AQ and start all over.
Of course, I was
like 8?
No, I wasn't that young.
8.5.
When was it? 2006, 2007?
Do you have to use your dad's credit card?
It was 2005. I did actually.
What about you, Celsius? So Brim's going back to vanilla WoW. Where are you going back?
I'm going back to my old fallback, Final Fantasy XI.
All right. And how far back are we going? What changed the game for you that you want taken out now?
The fact that they've absolutely dumbed it down to the point where some of the things that absolutely made it crucial for you to join a link shell and make it a massively multiplayer online game to force you to play with people is just back when you actually had to do stuff. I mean, to get sea and sky and all the other things.
So let's go through this then. You're okay with Rise of the Zillard, right?
Yeah.
You're okay with Chains of Promathia?
Right.
Are you okay with Treasures of Adargan? And for those of you that don't know, these are in order the expansions.
That's
for Final Fantasy XI.
Where it starts to get a little iffy, where they start making some of the end game gear irrelevant, And that's when some of the wonkiness started happening, where everyone started crying, "Oh, this is too hard," because I just don't want to try so hard. I just want to be given the items. So
yeah, I had a lot of fun in Treasures, though.
Did you?
Yeah, I really didn't start having, and we both picked the same game, but I think we picked different times. Because my choice would also be Final Fantasy XI to roll back. I'm okay with Treasures of Outer Gone being there. I'm even okay with Wings of the Goddess being there. I think Abyssia is what really started to change the game for not to the good for me. And I think that was also the point where the game hadn't had a level cap raise in so long, and then all of a sudden had a huge level cap raise, that the game really started to break down a lot.
Well, the mechanics, the way that it was set up originally is that there was no need for a level cap, because you also had your skill points you got at the end. Plus, you could switch to so many different. Yeah, you'd get to so many different jobs. Like, look at me, I played for a solid 7-8 years. I had every single job unlocked, but I only think I had maybe 4 or 5 to end game. So I mean, there was so much to do. There was really no need for it. And then whenever the new stuff did come out, like you were saying, and they felt that they needed to do it, you're right, it was a very game-breaking mechanic, because for so long there was no raise.
Yeah, the level cap raise came way too long, and then when it did was way too big, and made everything prior to that kind of irrelevant. So we got the same game, just different times. You'd like to see it go back a little further than I would, just to clean up some of the gear stuff that started to happen before the level cap increase.
Right.
And then I'm okay with the gear becoming a little wonky in Treasures and Wings of the Goddess, but Abyssia kind of hurt that for me as far as the Abyssia was not fun. But since you picked Final Fantasy XI, I gave my opinion on it. I'm gonna go a totally different route.
Okay.
I'll pick another one. So we have 3 different ones. I'm gonna go with Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
We got to roll it back, Brim.
We got...
what, the beta?
No, to Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to take Star Wars: The Old Republic, and we're going to roll it back to when it was Knights of the Old Republic 2.
We're just going to pretend it didn't exist, apparently.
Right. Well, it was a big patch in December of last year that kind of screwed up Knights of the Old Republic 2 for me. All right, let's move on. If you've got a game, though, that you want to see rolled back, put it in the comments below. Let us know what broke it and when you want it rolled back to. Next up, let's talk about Wargaming.net. We all know this company behind World of Tanks, World of Planes, Seaplanes, World of Boats, and World of Missiles, and
World of everything.
World of Rifles, and World of Hand Grenades. They're just taking over the world, and they're doing it one company at a time, pretty much. So they just bought up Gas-Powered Games. Now, if you've never heard of that company, you've probably heard of some of their titles. They're originally behind the Age of Empires Online. They were the original creators of the Dungeon Siege series. I know, Celsius, you're a fan of that one.
Yeah, I am.
3 was a little dicey in your book, but 1 and 2
horrible.
You liked.
Yeah, 3 was horrible, but 2 was awesome.
So Gas-Powered Games, they had a Kickstarter a little while ago, and we didn't really cover it because there was no indication as to what the model would be, and really there was very little on what type of game it would be, called Wildman. They wanted to raise $1.1 million, but they only got about half of that, and then all of a sudden the Kickstarter shut down. And shortly after that, there was an announcement made that Wargaming.net had acquired Gas-Powered Games. Now, this comes on top of Wargaming.net completing a purchase of Day One Studios back in January for about $20 million. Day One, the team behind Fear 3 and Mech Assault. I love the Fear series. Love the Fear series. You guys play that?
Yeah. I haven't played 3. I have 1 and 2, and I have the classified files, which is sort of a standalone. But other than that,
So
no.
day one kind of gets wargaming in the console market a little bit, right? I mean, that's what they're most known for.
Right.
And then Gas-Powered Games has done free-to-play with Age of Empires Online, but most of their series have been buy-to-play. Wildman was believed to have been a buy-to-play title. So what do you think's going on with Wargaming.net here, acquiring these companies? Are they gonna push these companies into free-to-play both in PC and console? Are they gonna let them do their thing and just kind of bankroll them and try to make money off the end? What's going on here, Celsius?
I always enjoy people plucking companies from the fire. No one ever likes to see anybody go out of business or no longer developing. They're probably going to collaborate all the groups together to make all those World of Everything you mentioned in the beginning, the World of Bullets and the World of Worlds. So
that's the game where it's you build a planet and collide them into each other.
Yeah,
the World of Worlds.
I don't know how the cash shop would be, but
So you think one big conglomerate that these aren't going to survive as separate entities under one umbrella?
Well, like you were saying, they're known for mostly console, and I'm wondering if Wargaming is going to swing that way, and if not, then I don't see them being able to use them in any other way other than to just consolidate into one group and be one big mastermind and make more awesome world games.
I can see, and Wargaming has been pretty public about wanting to get into consoles, so I can see the day one acquisition helping. Now, do I think it's going to be free-to-play or buy-to-play on the consoles? I don't know. I don't think Wargaming is going to try and push, at least off the bat, I don't think they're going to try and force free-to-play down, because it gets a little challenging depending on the game, and depending on whether you're going to use the Microsoft Arcade or if you're going to use the PlayStation Store. To do free-to-play there. But I wouldn't be surprised if the future holds free-to-play for the consoles. I'm very, very surprised at the acquisition of Gas-Powered Games, though. They did not make the money that they needed on the Kickstarter. They announced, Age of Empires announced that they were online was going to have no more updates. They were just going to support the title, no more content updates. So, as like you said, looked like Gas-Powered Games was kind of on its last leg there, and they had a couple projects in the works, and they wanted to get this Wildman thing out. What do you think, Brim?
Yeah,
Brim left.
No.
He's playing World of Tanks.
No, I'm not. You can't hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We can hear you.
Yeah, you are. You're logged in right now.
You made me nervous. I kind of like what Celsius said, where, you've got this one company just trying to save another company. Well, not save it for themselves, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're not like doing this out of the kindness of their heart.
No.
Here's 1.1 million that you needed. Just get back on your feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, just give it to me when you have it. Just give it to me when you have it.
Or maybe they're just trying to buy everybody up. I don't know.
We actually see a lot of consolidation going around lately, right? We've seen Outspark get picked up, have Fiesta picked up by Gamigo on both sides of the Atlantic here. We've always seen Nexon and NCSoft eating other companies and even like taking little bits out of each other when they can. GalaNet G-Potato acquired by WebZen. We're seeing a lot of consolidation across the board, especially in the free-to-play market, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Is that a good thing or a bad thing, Brim?
Fewer companies means, well, it doesn't necessarily mean, but less flooding of games that are already out there. Less of the same.
I don't know. We talked about an upstart company last week that decided, oh yeah, Area Games didn't publish Warren's story, but so we'll buy it, and it'll be the first game we publish. I don't know. What do you think, Celsius? Consolidation, good or bad for gamers?
Double-edged sword. Fewer companies. Like Brim was saying, at fewer companies, you have a lower chance of a crap game being pumped out. But on the other end is now you have a smaller chance of getting one of those excellent titles that you might want to pick up and continue playing because it's such a small consolidated pool now.
Yeah. I don't know. I tend to think it's a good thing for gamers, but when you get not a lot of competition company-wise, you start to miss some of those models that maybe they weren't your favorite free-to-play model, but they were better than what you have left. You know,
Right.
I think with free-to-play, there's more harm that can be done by a consolidation of companies than good. Good is, yes, you're probably looking forward to a little better quality on some titles. Obviously, you're still going to have some of the crap that's just pushed, the shovelware. But when you have too many companies, or too few companies, excuse me, trying to compete for each other, then the free-to-play model becomes, well, this is going to be Nexon's, this is going to be NCSoft's, and this is going to be WebZen's model, and you just got to deal with one of the three, rather than talking about models on particular games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the monopolization of free-to-play, and just the creativity almost gets stammered because it's like, all right, these are the three models you have to stick to, and that's it.
I'm a big fan of Wargaming.net. I'm a big fan of some of the things that Gas Powered Games has done. I'm a big fan of some of the stuff Day One has done. I'm excited to see what comes out of this. I anticipate Wargaming will use Day One's experience to push into consoles. I don't know if we'll see Wildman out of Gas Powered Games, but I think we'll see some other stuff. What do you think this means for the Wildman title, Brim? Is that going to get bankrolled by Wargaming, or do they have no interest in that based on what happened with the Kickstarter?
Well, you said they got half, right?
They got about half. Yeah, a little less.
I don't know. They might just try and roll with it. They might put it out.
Did you see somebody commented on the last show that you were on that they said, I don't think Brim listens to what the other hosts are saying?
I did see that.
Did
and
you?
I almost commented back. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I really don't listen.
All right, so I'm going to give Wargaming.net, if we're giving a thumbs up or thumbs down on this one, I'm going to give them a thumbs up. I think they're acquiring smartly. You know, they're not just out buying all kinds of things. And it'll be interesting to see what comes out of them. Let's slide over to the last news story today. Firefall, Red 5 Studios. We're not really talking about the game, Firefall, because Red 5 partnered with Twitch TV. And if you don't watch Bomb Live on Mondays and Wednesdays at 2 Pacific time on Twitch TV here from MMOBomb, then you're either busy or there's something wrong with you. Spunkify on Mondays, myself on Wednesdays. We pick a free-to-play game. You're welcome to join us. Lots of chat interaction, usually prizes or something given away. Or, hey, it could be like 2 weeks ago where chat was started auctioning off my toothbrush without my knowledge. So come on over and check that out. But Red 5 partnered with Twitch, Celsius. And they're going to directly enable live streaming from inside Firefall. We've seen some other games mess around with this in concept, but Firefall's taking it one step further. It's also going to have chat integration with Twitch TV as well. So this means you don't need additional tools to stream, or software to stream your Firefall gameplay and interact with chat. What do you think, Celsius? Do you like the idea? Is this a standard we're going to see going forward with more of these PvP-centric games? Just give me your overall download on this topic.
I like it. I like the fact that it's integrated and that you don't have to have something else running in the background. I don't know if Firefall necessarily needed this, but I do like the idea. I haven't played a ton of PvP. It was mostly a lot of the PvE out there doing a lot of thumping. I don't know how much. Right. Sorry, I went 12 there. Sorry.
Wow.
What?
Hey, we're going to be talking about Lara Croft later in the show.
Hey-o.
And somebody did quote Grandma's Boy. So we'll get to that.
She needs a good thumping. But, yeah, I'm excited about this. I really like this. And I think a lot more games need to have it. And I don't know if they necessarily have to partner up with Twitch TV. I'm just saying that a streaming idea like this is good. But I mean, Twitch TV's the go-to for where everybody wants to watch gaming. So I mean, I understand that. But I don't see that Firefall necessarily had to have it. I like the fact that it's in there though, and chat integration's nice too. So it is what it is.
What do you think, Brim?
Meh. It really doesn't affect me.
He wasn't listening again.
No, he has no idea what we're talking about.
All
he heard was Lara Croft.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on that.
Hey! Zing!
I don't know. It's a good idea, but I think we're gonna have way too many people using it.
What do you mean?
You're gonna get people that are gonna leave it on and not realize it's on, sort of thing.
And get caught fapping.
Exactly.
I mean, it's Twitch all. Yeah. I mean.
We went there, huh?
We did.
We did. We took a bus there, and we got a transfer.
There's only a very small percentage of our audience that knows what a transfer is. I think a large portion of our audience is going to have to wiki that one. I like it. I mean, obviously, I do the streaming anyway, and I would much rather have the game pump it than to have some additional software open on top of the game and pumping it out and eating the resources. Firefall, I think, makes a lot of sense for it to have it in, actually. I kind of disagree with you a little, Celsius, there. Firefall is pretty popular on the streaming. And it's fun to watch if you're following somebody that's actually good at it. If you're following me, then it's probably boring as hell to watch me PvP in Firefall. Or anything. But but yeah, I kind of like that Firefall, and I'm a big Red 5 fan. I've never hid that from anybody. And I do think we're going to see this in more, especially PvP-focused ones. But I think some like MMORPGs are probably gonna give it a whirl. I could see some of the bigger companies, things like NCSoft, putting this type of feature in some of their MMORPGs. I think Guild Wars 2 comes to mind, right? There's still an awful lot of people streaming that, and if you're doing just the PvE, or hell, if you're doing world versus world, I bet a lot of streamers would like to have it just automatically built in the client, right?
Yeah, that would be nice. I would definitely agree with that.
Dubs v dubs v dubs.
That's a lot of dubs.
Do you think it's going to be a standard, or is it going to be something that only the bigger companies are going to be able to do, Brim?
I think
I can't imagine this is cheap.
You're only going to see the bigger companies fall into this.
That's a shame. I was looking forward to streaming a few things. Oh well, I'm in favor of it. I mean, I think it's cool. I like that Firefall has it. The next game that I would like to see get it is surprisingly is a MOBA. I'd like to see integration of chat and everything with some of the more popular MOBAs, League of Legends, Smite. Some of the other titles I know are starting to integrate a live streaming tool. I like that the chat is being integrated here as well, too. And I think MOBAs are... I don't like MOBAs competitively, but I think they do help the gaming industry as a whole. So I'd be in favor of those being the next up on the block. Hi, thumbs up, Firefall. Red 5. I don't think Red 5 does very many things that gets a thumb down from us, do they?
Not that I can think of.
We gave them a thumbs down because of the low PvE content in their betas, but that was, being deliberately hidden. It wasn't something they didn't develop. They just didn't want access given out yet.
Yeah, that was a while ago, too.
Yeah, that was a while ago. But I think they got a thumbs down for that. So, if you've got opinions on RuneScape rollbacks or potential rollbacks and what game you think should have a rollback, Wargaming's acquisition of a number of companies and what that means for console and PC free-to-play from those companies, or Twitch being integrated in Firefall, of course, put your comments below. Put them on the website. Come on over to MMOBomb.com. Make sure if you're watching on YouTube while you're commenting there, don't forget your weekly bombs. Click like. click subscribe. If you're on the site, make sure you check out some of the giveaways we have right now. We've got a Blacklight Retribution gameplay items giveaway. We've got some upcoming stuff that you're not going to want to miss. Don't miss Ask MMOBomb, and of course, don't miss Bomb Live. Now, before we roll over to the weekly bombs, we do got to cover something real quick here, kind of an important announcement for you free-to-play cast listeners. Within the next week or two, there's going to be a little transition of hosting going on with the free-to-play cast. So next week, I'll still be your host. The week after, Spunkify will step in and take my duties. I said duty.
Oh my god. This is going to be a terrible show.
Spunkify is going to step in, take over the hosting responsibilities. He'll have hosts lined up, and he'll continue rolling with the free-to-play cast. Show's not going anywhere, just kind of transitioning from one set of hosts to another. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Because nothing serious, gang. Don't think there's any heavy drama or anything sneaky going on in the back. Unfortunately, it's just time for myself to step away from the MMOBomb.com for a little while, and so we want to transition this great show to other hosts so that you don't miss a single minute of free-to-play cast coverage. Nothing's wrong. Everybody's happy. I love you all. It's just a time thing, so me and some of the hosts are going to step away for the foreseeable future. Brim, Celsius, you two being on that docket as well. We would look forward to coming back at some point if time-wise the work permits coming back to MMOBomb, and of course we would obviously love it if the viewers would have us back, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It's sad, right? A little sad. I mean, the show's not going anywhere. We got the new hosts and everything. It's no big deal. But I feel a little sad. Do you?
Yeah. I got some crocodile tears going on here. You can't see them, but I got them.
So we'll do this show, we'll do next week's show, and then we'll have our transition of hosts at the end of February going into March. And then we will bid you adieu for a little while, and hopefully time schedules change, and at some point I would love to come back to MMOBomb and bring my free-to-play cast friends with me. We'll see if that is able to work out time-wise. So real life sucks sometimes, guys. Let's slide over and do the weekly bomb. Selfies, you're up first, my friend.
Well, since we made our announcement, and this will be technically my last show until said time that we can make our way back, I'm going to be cheesy once again, just like I was for the live show, and I'm giving a dub bomb to the community and to MMOBomb for having me, and it's been a fun long ride, and you can huff all you want.
You're the cheese master.
I am
the cheese master. No, I certainly second your sentiments there. I'm sad. I love making this content. It's just the time right now is a bit much for all the other things going on. But yeah, you're right. The community's been awesome, and I certainly hope that if and when we're able to come back at some point time-wise, that they would welcome us back. I hope so. Because Celsius and all of us, we love you.
Mucho love.
Mucho love. Mucho love. Brim, you're up. So dub bomb to the community. Go ahead, Brim.
Dub bomb to Terra online.
He couldn't wait.
He's like, it's my last show. I don't care. Let me talk about Terra. So what's up with Terra?
Oh my god. So they went free to play recently. What, 2 weeks now?
Yeah, 12 days ago as of this recording.
Yep. I hopped on the website last night. I was like, you know what? I'm tired of playing Star Wars.
Sucker.
That's because it needs a rollback.
So I started flipping through MMOBomb's big old list they got there, and I was like, you know what? Something went free to play that was pretty popular recently, and I, like in the back of my mind, I knew what it was, couldn't think of it. And then finally I got to the T's on the list, and Terra. I was like, oh, yeah. So I downloaded it, hopped in it right away. Magicman and I sat there. God, I don't think I went to bed till 7 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, we finished up playing at about 5:30 a.m. our time.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm really liking the game. They're doing a lot of things right, except one thing. And actually, I kind of blame you for this. I had originally
You
rolled.
blame me for something Moss is doing with Terra?
Yes,
All right.
because I had originally rolled on a completely different server, and then
Right.
you said, no, I'm on this server. So I'm like, fine, whatever. I've been in queue since we started this episode. I am still 236th in line.
Yeah, but see, you rolled. You were able to start your queue when you had something to do that was going to take about an hour, and you're going to get an experience buff when you get in. So I don't want to hear.
I
you
do
complain.
like that. I do like that they've added that. I don't think...
Doesn't make queues all right.
Right, but I've never...
They need to fix that. But
I don't think I've played a game that's had an experience boost in it for waiting in queue.
See, Magic Man, I knew he was logged into something.
he is.
He wasn't listening the whole
No,
time. I
he's
said
not.
he's waiting. He's waiting for he's either sitting in a PvP queue or he's downloading something.
310, 304.
Oh wait, they just said Brim. Wait, what?
291.
What was he just saying?
287. Wargaming. What the hell is that?
Yeah, big thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Yeah, thumbs up.
To
I'm also going to give a dub bomb. Mine goes to NCSoft. I'm very critical of NCSoft sometimes, so I got to give credit where due. They finally inked the deal. It's done to license the Unreal Engine 4.
yay!
And in the announcement, they even used some words that I kind of liked. In this official announcement, they said that the license would allow them to create future massive games.
You said massive.
Massive. So I'm kind of cool that there could potentially be, I know NCSoft dabbles in free and not free, so I'm saying potentially be some free-to-play Unreal Engine 4 games soon. Well, not soon, but sometime soon, relatively speaking. So, dub bomb NCSoft, way to get that deal done with Unreal Engine 4. Looking forward to some of the things they've got coming up from there. Let's go over to the members. Elvion says, "Da bomb for Neverwinter. Great combat, great story, and overall a great game. It is not sticking to the D&D rule set, but who the hell cares? Da bomb to Cryptic as well for listening to beta feedback, and an A-bomb to overzealous fans. My current gripe is with overzealous D&D fans with unrealistic expectations, but that kind of stuff is spread all across. The being a fan of D&D is not bad. In fact, it's great. But fans, please do a reality check once in a while." Yeah, I kind of brought up some different things that D&D fans might have an issue with in Neverwinter on last week's show with my wife, Domina. Why don't you take that the next one there, Celsius?
All right, this one's from Enusunt, and it says, "Hey everyone! First off, before I start watching the show, I'd like to give a huge A-bomb to Turbine. They've had a 12-hour scheduled maintenance for supposedly an upgrade to back-end systems, including accounts and billing, which I'm all for that. Right. Which is now a 48 plus. It's on 48 plus hours, and there's still no ETA in sight. So Brim, quit crying about queues. This affects their accounts page as well as their games. Everything but the main website and forums is offline." And then he clicks to play, he or she.
Yeah, and the big one for this was Lord of the Rings Online. Obviously, DDO was impacted as well. And it was a little over 48 hours. Now, since that comment, those games are back up and running. And I know it sucks, but especially when you look at it that they weren't upgrading the actual games at all. It was all back-end stuff that was being upgraded. But I got to give Turbine credit, man. They at least communicated, right? Did you see any of the tweets or any of the updates that they kept pumping out that was like, hey, we're still working on it? It wasn't descriptive. They weren't like, there was a small fire in the galley and we put it out. And but they were like, they at least kept the updates coming. So yeah, it sucks. It's an A-bomb to being down for well over your forecasted scheduled time, but at least they weren't one of those companies that just disappears.
Poof.
Niels Kohlbergs also agrees with you, Brim. A bomb for Terra Online. Been playing it since February 1st, the unlimited trial, and it's been just amazing fun, and I really love the gameplay. A bomb to Terra. only because I was downloading the update, I think 29 hours. I can understand that, but the fact that the launcher was always bigger than my screen resolution just annoyed me. I thought that it's just bigger than 1280 by 1024, so I made my resolution 1600 by 1200, but still it was bigger than that. All content in the launcher was just smaller. The launcher itself stayed the same. I don't know if that's for everyone, but that's my A-bomb this week. So Nils liking Terra but hating the launcher. It's a long download, especially depending on your internet connection. It could be very long download. Airsplash wants to give out a personal dub bomb. Got a dub bomb to my friend Super Midget 117 for going out on a limb and trying Terra. Turns out he really likes it. So kudos to Airsplash and Super Midget for liking some Terra. Last week we put a weird question out there, guys. I want to get your answers too. Gave him a random fun question. I actually saw it on the MMOBomb forums, and I wanted to get some answers from the free-to-play cast listeners. Lara Croft, or Nathan Drake, Celsius, and why?
Really? You had to ask this question?
Yes. Lara Croft or Nathan Drake?
It's pretty obvious. Lara Croft, hello.
Inflictious agrees with you and quoted Grandma's Boy, the movie Grandma's Boy, where Alex says, "Come on, Laura. My bleep is lost in the jungle, and it's up to you to find it. Oh, Laura, you dirty, dirty adventurer. Let's see what you've got under your skirt, Laura. No panties? You know I like that." Love that movie.
I just got a shiver.
Love that movie.
Because my brain was going along with what you were saying, and then I continued the movie plot as you continued to talk, and I was like, ugh.
So what's your choice there, Gray Bush? Lara Croft or Nathan Drake?
Hey, at least I have a bush.
You need to stop telling. How many people did you tell?
I don't know, like 13?
Oh, my God.
What's
Lara
your choice,
Croft.
Brim?
Lara Croft.
Lara Croft. And I hate people that say Laura. There's no U in it. It's Lara. Lara Croft. JC Legend chimes in. I mean, this wasn't even close. I thought this would be a little bit closer. Croft ran away with this. JC Legend says, question of the week, Lara Croft, because she is awesome and, in my opinion, one of the first and best tough girls around. Pawn Boy 5 says, question of the week, Laura Croft, because I want to annoy Magic Man with the spelling. You son of a... What's Willie Wolfman got there, Brim?
Question of the week, as a man, I am obliged to say Lara Croft. However, I think if it were just excuse me, if it were just to hang out and have a drink, I'd choose Nathan. He's more laid back than Lara. If it's based on the romantic relationship, holy crap, Lara Croft is the way to go.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt there, right?
I don't know. I'd want to hang out and have a drink with her also. Like, I don't know, whatever.
I don't know.
I'd rather have a drink with Nathan.
Well, I know why.
Nathan knows how to romance a woman.
Yeah, he could be my wingman to pick up Lara Croft. I could have Nathan Drake be my wingman. Radius says, really tough call from me. Lara and Nathan are pretty much equal in abilities in and out of combat. I guess I'd lean more towards Drake because he has a more defined personality while Lara keeps getting reinvented for no good reason. Well, it's probably because new writers aren't good enough to deal with the lore without spinning it in some way. But she has the legacy advantage, so screw it, I pick Altair from Assassin's Creed. He's the best anyway. I don't think you were allowed to do that.
Really? You'd go with Altair out of the Assassin's Creed group? I don't know.
That's a totally different question. Don't start. Don't even do that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
P emailed me a question. This sounds weird.
You said P.
P emailed me a question to the magicman@MMOBomb.com email address, which should still be up and running if you guys want to send questions and stuff like that while we're on an indefinite leave of absence. Having myself played the original PlanetSide 1 for 9 years, and this is from P, I'm hugely disappointed in what PlanetSide 2 has turned out like. My question is, why hasn't the media covered how bad PlanetSide 2 actually is? and what a massive opportunity the developers had to make something truly unique. There are thousands of PS1 vets hugely disappointed, but we don't get heard. Kind regards, bitter vet, P. I thought this was a really good question, and I wanted to bring it on with you guys because all three of us are generally pretty favorable when we talk about PlanetSide 2. So, what do you got to say to P there, Celsius?
Hit the forums and vote with your wallet. Yeah,
that's smart. Vote with your wallet on a free-to-play game.
Hey, you know what I mean.
I'm kidding you. Go ahead.
It's tough. It's really upsetting when look at a lot of people when Diablo 3 came out. We were like, what is this? This isn't what we
Diablo
wanted.
3 sucks.
And
There's really no way around that one.
It's tough. It's really tough. I mean, the best way you can hope for is just hit the forums, pray that you catch the ear of the developers. I think PlanetSide 2 is far enough down the path where I don't think they're going to change too much to the game. But you guys still do have PlanetSide 1 to go back to. I'm just saying.
And it's going to be free to play later this year.
Yeah.
Around June is the target timeline for PlanetSide 1 to go free. Brim, you got an opinion on this one for P?
Yeah, but I agree with Celsius. You just got to keep hitting those forums. It sucks, but at the same time,
I think you're both out of your minds.
They're going to put out what they want to put out.
He wasn't listening, Magic Man. He's reiterating everything I say.
I don't think putting anything on the forums is going to help in this type of case, though. I mean, it's all well and good to say vote with your wallet, but I don't think Sony cares at this time. They've got enough people playing PlanetSide 2. P, the only thing that I can tell you is I don't think the media... Your point to why hasn't the media covered how bad PlanetSide 2 actually is because PlanetSide 2 isn't actually bad. PlanetSide 2 is actually a pretty solid game, and yes, there's thousands of other first-person shooters out there, but there is a very unique aspect of PlanetSide 2. I think what might be more to your point is that people expecting a direct sequel to PlanetSide 1 are obviously, there's probably a lot of them that think PlanetSide 2 is just awful because PlanetSide 1 was so much more in-depth with some of the extracurricular things. It wasn't just a first-person shooter. There were other things going on that didn't make it because Sony wanted to try something different, and instead of making the game hugely in-depth, made the number of combatants and the type of combat more in-depth. To me, I almost would not have put a 1 or a 2 on this game, Celsius. I understand why they call it PlanetSide 2, because it's, a spiritual sequel, and there's some tying in of the lore and things like that. But I think by calling it PlanetSide 2, you set an expectation for PlanetSide 1 players that you had no intention of meeting.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think that goes right along with almost like a Final Fantasy movie when they pumped out Spirits Within. You threw a tag to a game that you knew was not directly tied to what it was going to be, and you got people interested and hyped over it. And now I see his point that a lot of PlanetSide 1 players feel scorned because that they were falsely misled by seeing just like you were saying, Magic Man, a PlanetSide 2, a direct sequel.
Yeah. So to answer your question, why hasn't the media covered how bad it is? Because it's not really that bad. Even people that don't like the game generally have favorable things to say about it. I think if you were expecting a direct sequel to PlanetSide 1, I can definitely see why you're hugely disappointed, because in no way does it meet that for me. As a PlanetSide 1 player, PlanetSide 2 is not a sequel that I would jump from 1 to 2. I would play 2 in addition to 1. So don't get hurt. I mean, yeah, you can go to the forums. It's not going to change anything. PlanetSide 2, I would imagine, is already in development for the PlayStation 4. Just to guess, I don't have any insight there, but it makes sense to me. So I don't think that's going to change. But you do have PlanetSide 1 going free to play soon, so that's something to look forward to. Sorry, P. Mystica says, for question of the week, I really don't know. I haven't played any of the Uncharted or Tomb Raider series. Haven't properly watched the Tomb Raider movies with Angelina Jolie in them either. And I don't recommend that you do.
Yeah, I was going to add something there, Mystica. I don't think anyone has ever properly watched a Tomb Raider movie with Angelina Jolie. I couldn't tell you the storyline, but I can tell you what she was wearing in those movies.
Did she have a head in that movie?
No, she did not.
Okay,
She had lips and a rack.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was the movie that she took her head off or not.
Man, she's got some awesome DSLs.
I'm not a Jolie fan, surprisingly.
I'm not either. I just like her lips and rack.
I don't even think she's that good looking. I mean, obviously people are gonna be like, that's a dumb thing to say. She's beautiful. Yeah, she's a nice looking lady. But there's other Hollywood starlets. Mountain Dew says we have to go with Lara Croft. She simply has more experience.
I bet she does.
Whoa, zing. Not to mention she's acquired a lot of powerful artifacts in her travels. She's also She's also very well educated, very wealthy. She can afford the most high-end items.
Independent girl, that's who I like.
Yeah,
buy your own stuff.
You want to buy my founders packs for me?
Right?
No question of the week this week. We need your bombs to finish up this host group shows next week. So get your bombs, put your dub bomb, your A bomb. That's the way it works. Dub bomb for something great that's free-to-play related. Could be a game, could be a company, could be a decision, could be a founders pack, could be anything free-to-play related. A bomb for something you don't like that's free-to-play related. You don't have to narrow it down just to a game. Put your weekly bombs in the comments below. Click like, click subscribe. Remember, in 2 weeks' time, we'll have the free-to-play cast host changeover. Show's not going anywhere. Just some hosts are, including myself. So we want to be clear. You will still have the show each and every week after the next two go up. Not a problem. You can still look forward to hearing your weekly news here. Just different voices giving it to you. Let's throw it around for the final word, for the final time for these two hosts for the foreseeable future. Celsius, you're up.
Sorry, I was biting down my tongue. I was trying to spout some tears. I'm not good at crying on demand. This sucks, man. I don't even know what to say right now. Like, I don't even want to tell anyone anywhere to follow me because it's... Well, it's not like they could even follow me when I was on here full time between real life, but
right, you ain't playing anything anyway.
Or that's what I mean. Like people have been tweeting me, and I'm like, they can
definitely still follow us and play games with it. I mean, we're not disappearing. You know, nobody's dying that we got to go take care of. We're just doing some transitions for a little while, and some of us are going to disappear for a little while, and hopefully, you know, they'll be open to us coming back. That'll all be up to the audience's discretion if and when that time comes.
All right.
So you could give them where to follow you, you knucklehead.
All right. For those who still care about...
Stop making it like a death knoll, for crying out loud.
All right. For those who want to continue following me, you guys can still hit me at the Twitters, at @TheRealCelsius. Like magicman and I said, I have been bombarded rather tragically with real life, and baseball season will be starting up here even sooner than I like. So, but for those who want to reach out and game for a little bit, hit me up, and hopefully I'll see you guys, you know, on the flip side.
Brim, you're up.
Oh, it has been a great year and 2 months.
Yeah, you were on episode 1, baby.
I was. I had a lot of fun over the last year.
Yeah, we'll be back at some point. I think we will. It's just there's timing that needs to be taken into consideration.
Well, yeah, and I've been working 6 days a week ever since I got that new job.
Right.
So, yeah, I've had a lot of fun. I hope to be back. I know some people have been hitting me up on Twitter. I've played some games with some of those people. Guys, I still play Warframe.
People?
What?
Those people?
What do you mean, those people? I still play Warframe. I still play Tribes Ascend.
Not very well.
Obviously, I still play... Well, I shouldn't say still. I've started playing Terra.
Yep. He's on my server, so all of you pretty much know where that is by now.
Yep. So hit up the Twitter at Brimton, BRIMTTIN. Shoot me an invite. Guys, have fun.
Hey, Brim, I got to ask real quick. On Terra, do you use the keyboard or do you use a controller?
I use the keyboard.
Ugh.
Yeah, you're asking the wrong people, Celsius. Brim and I play that on the keyboard, but we're using Razer Naga mice.
Well, I have
Yeah.
a gaming mouse too, but I've literally tried it both ways, and I'm enjoying it better with a controller.
I'll bet you have.
I'm gonna
For
punch you in the
Celsius
mouth.
and Brimton, I am Magic Man. You can follow me on Twitter at MagicMan1. That's MAGICKMANN1. You can hit me with an email at magicman@MMOBomb.com. That's spelled the normal way, MAGICMAN. Until next week, gang, I'll see you then. Stay safe, and we'll see you on the servers.